What if I told you the secret to peace isn't hidden in buying more but in keeping less? What if generations of quiet people already knew this truth long before the modern world invented words like decluttering or minimalism? The Amish live it. They breathe it. Their homes whisper lessons that echo through time. And today, we are stepping into those timeless ways. Ways that remind us simplicity is not emptiness. It is power. It is freedom. The quiet beauty of Amish simplicity. You enter an Amish home and the first thing you notice is not what is there but what is missing. No loud TV in the corner. No plastic decorations crowding shelves. No clutter that makes the eyes restless. Instead, there's wood polished by hand, air that feels still, and objects that sit in their place as if they belong. The silence almost feels heavy at first, but then it becomes comforting. A chair sits by the window, a lamp on the table, a quilt folded with care. Each thing whispers a story but does not shout for attention. There's nothing extra, nothing screaming by me, use me, throw me. It is a space designed for living, not for showing. And when you stand there long enough, you feel it. This is not accident. It's not a design trick. It's a way of life, repeated, practiced, inherited, guarded like a seed of peace passed through generations. Lessons passed down through generations. The Amish don't read books about decluttering. They don't watch videos about minimalism. They live it. Every day, every choice. A mother will tell her daughter, keep what matters. A father will remind his son, make it strong so it lasts. It's never written in some rule book but spoken around tables, lived out in barns, seen in kitchens. A quilt is sewn not only to cover but to carry memory. A Bible is not just read but handed over with worn pages and finger marks that remind of nights when candles burned low. A rocking chair is passed because someone sat there, prayed there, cried there. That's the lesson. Decluttering is not throwing away. It's deciding what has weight, what deserves to travel forward with the family. And so, each generation inherits not only objects but the wisdom of what to keep and what to let go. The power of owning less. We often think more means better. More clothes, more shoes, more tools. But the Amish know the hidden truth. More is heavy. Heavy on space. Heavy on mind. Heavy on heart. Their homes breathe because they are not stuffed. Cupboards hold enough but not too much. Closets open and you don't drown under piles. There is air between objects, space between things. And that space is freedom. Owning less is not about sacrifice. It's about gaining back time, peace, clarity. When you don't spend hours cleaning what you don't need, you spend hours living. They know that. And when you visit, you feel it in your bones. You leave thinking, what if I let go too? What if I stop filling and start living? That is the power hidden in less. The meaning behind every object. There's a deep rule in Amish life. Everything must earn its place. A chair is not just wood nailed together. It is a father's hands carving, smoothing, shaping. A quilt is not fabric. It is patience stitched in silence. A Bible is not just a book. It is voice and comfort, something that outlives the hand that holds it. Each object that remains is respected. They don't keep 10 plates for the sake of more. They keep the ones that serve, the ones that matter. And when something stops serving, they do not hide it in an attic. They pass it on. They gift it. They repurpose. Or they burn it if it has no more life. Nothing wasted. Nothing hoarded. That is why their homes don't feel empty, but alive. Full of meaning but never full of mess. A spiritual connection to simplicity. To the Amish, clutter is not just physical. It is spiritual noise. Too many objects, too much chasing. It blocks the heart. It distracts the soul. A house filled with excess leaves no room for stillness. And without stillness, how do you hear God's whisper? For them, keeping less is an act of faith. It is humility. They do not dress the home to impress neighbors. They dress it to stay close to what matters. A simple table becomes holy when prayers rise from it. A plain bed is sacred when it holds rest and love. To outsiders, it may look like emptiness. To them, it is fullness. Fullness of silence, of connection, of room for prayer. This is why they never chase the modern rush for more. They see the danger in it. The danger of losing sight of what feeds the soul. The generational rhythm of order. Order does not come from sudden cleaning. It comes from rhythm. The Amish live with rhythm. Each day, each week, a pattern repeats. Children sweep floors not as punishment but as habit. Mothers fold clothes not as chores but as life. Fathers put away tools not because someone demanded but because that is how it's done. And children watch. They copy. They grow into it. It becomes natural. No clutter has a chance to grow because order was never broken. This rhythm, this cycle, is like breathing. You do not notice it, but it sustains you. And that is the real secret. Decluttering is not an event. It is a rhythm of living. A practice that never ends because it never had to start. Decluttering through craftsmanship. When your hands make what you own, you respect it. The Amish know this truth. A table built by your father's hands is not easily replaced. A dress sewn by your mother fits not only your body but your heart. This makes owning less easier, because each item carries weight. They don't crave the cheap and replaceable. They crave the strong and lasting. And because of that, they don't need 50 of something. They need one, maybe two. Things last. Things endure. Decluttering, then, is not constant. It is natural. They don't fight piles of broken, meaningless things because those piles never exist. Their craftsmanship builds a shield against clutter, a quiet shield made of patience and skill. The role of community in simplicity. Clutter dies where community lives. Among the Amish, what is too much for one family becomes just enough for another. They share. They trade. They pass things down the lane. A horse harness, a set of jars, extra clothes. Nothing sits unused for long. The cycle of giving keeps homes light. It is not charity. It is not pride. It is balance. Community acts like an invisible hand sweeping clutter away. In the modern world, we hoard because we fear need. In their world, they give because they trust community. And in that trust, homes stay simple. Neighbors hold each other's excess. And in the process, no one drowns in too much. Teaching children the value of less. Children in Amish homes grow up different. Their toys are not plastic mountains. Their rooms are not overflowing. They play with wood blocks. They run in fields. They make games with their hands and minds. At first, outsiders may think, poor kids, they have so little. But spend a day and you see the opposite. They laugh louder. They play harder. They need less to be full. Parents never sit down and lecture about minimalism. They don't need to. The life itself is the teacher. And when those children grow older, they don't crave clutter. They crave meaning. They crave work, love, family, things that matter. The value of less is planted early and grows strong. And so the cycle of decluttering never breaks. Timeless wisdom for modern times. For many, decluttering is a trend, a book, a challenge, a thing to do in January and forget by March. For the Amish, it is not a task. It is life itself. They show us a truth we have forgotten, that less is not emptiness. It is freedom, that a home stripped of noise is a home filled with peace, that every object should tell a story or serve a need. Nothing more, nothing less. Their wisdom has lasted because it is not tied to fashion. It is tied to survival, to faith, to community. In a world chasing the next new thing, their old ways stand firm, timeless, quiet, strong. And maybe, if we listen, if we slow down, if we take their lessons, we too can breathe lighter. We too can live uncluttered. So maybe the answer isn't in another gadget, not in another closet stuffed full. Maybe the answer is in the old wisdom, in what the Amish already showed us. Keep less, but keep it with meaning. Let go of what weighs you. Hold on to what speaks to you, and live lighter. Because sometimes the heaviest thing we carry is the clutter we refuse to release. If you found something in these words, take it with you. Live it. And don't forget, there's more simple wisdom waiting here on Rustic Panty, where we keep the old ways alive, one story at a time.